Hey folks, this is the WooFDriver coming to you live. We are at a place we call the Amazing Chase. It's actually lure coursing, which is a canine sport of long ago. It's really developed for sighthounds. I'm going to turn the camera around. Just wanted to greet you. Okay, and here we are. So what you're looking at now is one of the barns. This used to be a horse pasture. It's approximately 4 acres of a closed-in pasture. Deep down in there, where I'm pointing at right now, is what we call a barn. And in the barn, there is a new addition. There's some goats, and the goats are somebody who lives here's pets. This pasture I rent out to run the dogs. I've created those lure coursing. I'll go into lure coursing. If you don't know, a lot of you have been with me many years. For some of you that I'm broadcasting on multiple channels, here comes Zorro, by the way. We haven't started the course up. Chase and Jag are more interested in the goats. Princess, who is where I'm pointing at now, is 14 years old, and she's more interested in chasing the flag. She's always been that way. What I mean by chasing the flag, lure coursing is a sport for sighthounds because it's a flag that travels along this course. Hey Debbie, how are you doing? Thank you so much. Debbie sending love to the beautiful babies, the wolf pack. And I really appreciate it. Anybody who wants to drop by, I'll give you a shout out if I see it. I'm trying to run multiple broadcasts here, so hopefully you're seeing it. Once the dogs get going, I'll be able to zoom in and we'll be looking at some other stuff. But right now, because I have someone here assisting me, one of my WooFDriver teammates, and he's going to run the machine, which he usually does, and I photograph, and I've designed this whole setup, but I like to photograph and broadcast and just watch the dogs enjoy themselves, and also manage the dogs throughout this adventure because, and there's Jim right there, because lots of things can happen. But basically, let me get to a quick description. Lure coursing is a flag that travels along a pulley system that was specifically designed to run this flag, and it's usually over a course of 3 to 5 acres, and it's designed for sighthounds because sighthounds hunt with their vision because they have very keen vision. Almost any breed of dog can do this. It's who's going to be interested because it's not scented. Like, what's that? Because normally, if they were chasing prey, this is what this is emulating. Prey has a scent to it, and I'm not encouraging them to chase prey by doing this. I'm just giving. Here comes Zorro. Here comes Zorro. I'm gonna try to get him. There he goes, because the flag's running now. So, hey Eva, hello from Sweden. We are doing great here. We've got awesome weather. See, you see Chase. Chase is going after Zorro, and this is why I'm managing this, because they're playing. But sometimes with Huskies, they're a very independent, stubborn breed, and they function well in a pack, but sometimes establishing that pack hierarchy, and sometimes they'll challenge it, means that sometimes they'll get into a little bit of a tussle sometimes. So I've got to keep that going, and they're territorial in their own way. Here comes Zorro. He's just having a ball. Princess is watching him. She'll engage soon. I let the other two, who are Chase and Jag, enjoy the show with the goats. They're having fun. They can't get to the goats, and the goats can't get to them. Jag! Jag! No! Jag! They're wearing collars, which I can give them a sound. Now, did you see that? That was a, I don't know if you saw that from this vantage point, because we're a little far away. The camera, I've got a wide-angle lens on it today, so it's making it a little, Jag! So he's getting a little bossy with Chase. And that's all part of good, no, Princess! That's all part of good socialization, but because of that, sometimes they can get a little temperamental, and that's what I'm talking about. Their traits and how they function as a pack, how they work together sometimes. They can challenge each other, so I'm just keeping an eye on it. And this makes the bond stronger, and it's always good training because they understand that, hey, you can play with each other, but if you start challenging each other, I'm going to have to step in being the alpha. They're wearing collars which have a sound that I've taught them, a beeping system, pager system, if you will, and I can pretty much make the pager system do anything. Hey, Tracy. Thank you so much, Princess. She's such a great girl. Oh, you had a husky named Princess. She is beautiful, and Princess is a senior, very much senior. There goes Zorro, being 14 years old. Come on, Princess. And she's very dominant. She's always been. So she considers herself the alpha of the pack. The only issue with that is that the boys sometimes don't like that, and as she gets older, Princess! Come on, good girl. In a normal wolf pack, they would challenge her for dominant, for that alpha position or that alpha role. Now, I'm the ultimate alpha, but when they're out here in this almost wilder environment than around the house, dynamics change. So they start relying on their dog or wolf-like instincts, hierarchy, and that's where challenges and other behaviors take place. So I have to manage it. There's Princess. Now, yesterday I didn't do a live broadcast, but we did about 6 miles of free ranging off leash. I have if you're just tuning in for the first time or you don't know what I do, I have a few farms I've been able to no, Jag! Good boy. I've been able to secure through land leases. So I'm just gonna let Jag know. Give him just a Jag. Good boy. Now what I did was I gave him a little sound. I don't know if you heard the beep, just to let him know, hey, don't get too crazy, because the fence is a flexible material. So I mean, if he really wanted to, he could get to him. Now I'm standing here, and we've done this. The goats have been here. This is probably our 4th adventure out here with the goats, so they understand the boundaries and what's supposed to be. But again, you're dealing with animals, and instinct can take over sometimes. So you have to keep, especially with huskies, enforcing it. And what I mean by that is just through your voice, Jag. And if not, I can do it through an audio. The audio is like a scolding kind of correction. Come on, guys. So that's how that works. If you have any training questions, thank you so much, Eva. I really appreciate it. Eva was saying how beautiful Princess is. She is really a looker. Now there's the flag, and Zorro got it. And the idea is Zorro is not to get it. And if this was a real AKC commissioned sport, if this was with sight hounds and they grab the flag, they're disqualified, I believe. It's a whole regiment they have. But Tracy, you had 2 huskies and a Rottweiler. Wow, that Rottweiler Shepherd mix. I'll bet she did. She had quite a household at the time. They were going, I miss them every day. Yes, I've had other huskies and other dogs that I miss so much. She's saying how huskies are very headstrong, and they'll definitely talk back to you. It's the truest thing in the world, and really the only way to balance that is through mega exercise. I mean, they have an insatiable appetite to engage themselves into everything, and if you don't give them an energy outlet, they'll make their own, whether it's digging in the yard, whether it's bickering with each other, chasing, preying upon small animals. And they do, and you can see a little bit of dominance there. Hey, we're on live TV, don't do that, Chase. Look at Zorro rolling over. That's healthy dominance there. But he's dominating Zorro, which Zorro's okay with it. They do it to each other, they switch off. They won't do it to Princess. But it's healthy socialization, so I allow it to happen. Now, if it were bothering one another and would create a problem, I would correct them and let them know that's not acceptable behavior. Jag! No! Jag! Jag's eating something over there. So, good boy. Just tell him not to. There's really nothing in here. It's probably something from another animal. And that's what they do now. Princess is headed to the water. I haven't even taken you over here. So, we have 2 cooling tubs, I call them. They're actually big Rubbermaid vats which the dogs can fit into. They're shallow, so even Princess, being elderly, she can still step into it, and she can get down to the point where she'll dip her chest in. So the chest, the underside of the dogs, where a lot of their internal organs lie, and it's a good way of them cooling off. another great way is just by getting their pads of their feet wet. They actually sweat through there. Not a real significant or really a cooling kind of sweat, but if they can cool their pads, it helps regulate their overall body temperature. And there goes Zorro. He's jumping into it. I hope you can see that. And I'll get closer and we'll do some other stuff here, other views, but I know I'm running my mouth a lot. Let me see. Hoping we're getting the whole crowd here. I'm just gonna take a quick break and just catch up. So if you hear that, I have a really cool collar on the dog called a Link AKC, and you might have seen these. These are a new GPS kind of collar. It's made to keep track of your dog basically at home, or if you adventure with them like I do, where they could wander off. They're always in my eyesight. Anything can happen though. So the Link AKC requires a cell signal. There goes Zorro. Get you a view of him. And what it does is it tracks the dog. It knows, because it pairs with your phone through Bluetooth and Wi-Fi technology, and you can see now they're playing around down there, which is all good. So when the dog's near you, it knows. If the dog's far away, it knows. And you set up a base station at your house, essentially. And if the dog's not near the base station, it lets you know the dog's away. So you can be like, oh, the dog, wherever your base station is, and you learn the parameters of that. You can add more base stations to get bigger coverage. And say, oh, the dog's not where he should be. He's out of the yard or somewhere. And you can go take appropriate action. You could put it into lost dog mode, which will direct you to finding the dog. I've never had to do that. Here's Chase, and here comes Zorro. But it's cool because we did lose one of the collars once. Jag! Jag, no! Now Jag's biting on the... Jag! Good boy, Jag! Gave him an audio correction. Let him know, because he's biting on the fence, and I want to let him know that's not the thing to do. If he does it again, I'll call him over to me or call him in this direction. Now Princess is down there, so again, it's a little hot of a situation, but this is good training for them to learn again. I mean, they've been with each other. Well, I've had the boys, the males, since they were puppies. I've had Princess since she was about 4 years old, so about 10 years. She's 14 now. So she is the most headstrong husky I've ever met. Princess! And when they're around animals that they're unsure of, they don't know, especially like these goats, they can be a little feisty again with each other because they try to get to them and instinct takes over. Now they will hunt as a pack, but these are larger animals that are fenced in an area, so they're not trying to hunt. When they hunt as a pack, for instance, they'll go into a field, and a cornfield, imagine this, because I've seen this happen. There's a small animal in there, maybe a groundhog, and they'll go, one of the dogs will go in there, or two of the dogs, and flush the groundhog out. The other two will be waiting for the groundhog to come out, and they'll team up on it. That's what happens. Not a pretty sight, and of course I don't encourage it, and I keep them out of as much range, but we are out in the wild, so you never know what's going to occur. And a lot of these farms that we free range at have a lot of animals. The farm animals are fine. It's the smaller animals that I don't know where they're at when we come into contact. And the times of year you got to be most concerned are around the beginning. I'm gonna cut this feed and go live again because I'm losing. For some reason, I'm losing reception. So I'll come right back at you, folks. This is WooFDriver signing off, coming right back.